Hello. Hello, and welcome back to live Human Design Q&A. My name is Tangi. I'm a human design teacher and coach. I use human design to help you feel good, or at least feel a little better. That's why I call myself the Feel Good Expert. You can find me at the Feel Good Expert across all platforms. I will not DM you. Be careful out there. Scammers make imposter accounts pretending to be me, and then they ask you for like a donation or something, and I just need you to know that isn't me. I also call myself the feel good expert because I'll never tell you anything limiting, inhibiting, or dogmatic about this system. I simply use human design to give you validation and permission to be your most authentic self. And I do that by providing foundational knowledge and practical tools with real application. My tool is my website. It's thefeelgoodexpert.com. It is a free resource for you. The home of the on-demand free mini reading. All you have to do is type in your birth date, exact time, and location, and then every single one of the chart properties on my website will direct you to a free video explanation. So it'll take you like 15, 20 minutes. And if you watch all of those videos, they're all just YouTube links, normal YouTube links. If you watch all those videos, you have a free foundational human design reading. It's a great place to start. If you're new to human design or you have looked at this chart and you're like, I still don't get it, this will explain it to you in plain English, okay? So great place to start. If you're a visual learner like me and you need something that you can like refer back to, I do have a personalized report. It's in the $20 range. Might be helpful to you. There's lots of coaching tools in there to help you integrate your design. So I've got a page of affirmations, strengths and awarenesses, journaling prompts, reflection questions, and these are all specific to your chart. So that's another resource that I have. Most personalized reports, because human design is very expensive and time consuming to learn, most of those are going to cost like $50 to $100 because it does take some time to create the variations. There are hundreds of them, but I love to make human design accessible. So I have that. I also have just launched my course. It is complete. It goes through every single variation of the chart, all the way into advanced readings. I have a near 300-page book on gates within the course, channels, everything is covered. So if you're wanting to be an advanced reader or learn more about human design, or at least be able to accurately read the charts of yourself and those closest to you, this is a great place to start. Most self-paced programs of a similar caliber are $3,000 and up. So that's my spiel. Now I'm here to answer your questions. All I ask in return is that you engage with the live, comment, like, share, follow, all of that stuff. Okay, that's helpful to me as a projector in human design to feel seen, honored, and recognized for all of the time, money, and energy I put into learning this system. And of course, all of the free resources that I create for you. I always create what I wish I had when I was getting started. So there you go. Enjoy. So feel free to ask me anything about your chart or about human design in general. These questions not only help me sharpen my knowledge, of course, personal perspective over here, but as I answer your questions, I'm sure someone else who is listening to the live may find value in your question as well as the answer. So ask me anything. I'm glad you're here. You have to tell me how to pronounce your name. Is it Ujwal? Anyways, welcome back. Hi. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Kim. Hi, Jasmine. I'm glad you're back. Hi, Sai. How are you? I look nice. Thanks. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best with the resources that I have available to me. Thank you for the likes. Your website is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm working on posting some good stuff to hi Jody, to Instagram as well. So I'm putting human design out there everywhere, all over the place. Let's get the word out. Oh, you guys, it's a new moon in Virgo. It's a new moon. Did anybody else go on like a cleaning spree like get the urge to purge. Like, did anybody else get this insane drive to like get organized or like change everything or I don't know, do something different, be something different, express yourself, express your mm, taste in a certain way? Because oh my gosh, it's kind of funny, right? Like if you're a TikToker like me, you've probably seen this very demure trend. Okay. So last night, late afternoon, I'm sitting at my desk and I'm trying my best to like force myself to work. Like, come on, Tangi, do something. But I'm very like under caffeinated and like kind of tired and like I put a lot of work in yesterday, like completing out my course. So I'm sitting at my desk and I'm like, I feel like doing something cutesy, something demure. And so I'm like, all right, follow the energy. I stand up and I look around and I'm like, this whole room has to change. This must go. This must change. And I like started pulling all of the books off of my bookshelf. I changed my bedding colors. Like I looked around and all of a sudden I was like, I hate the color pink. So I just ripped anything that was pink out of my room. I went for this like minimalist vibe. Like I reorganized my bookshelf so that the books that I actually like use are right by me, like easy to grab and like reference. I had just had them in like little piles everywhere and I noticed that I wasn't using them because I would have to like unearth them basically. Typical first line with like piles of books everywhere. But anyway, I spent hours and hours, and it was crazy because I was supposed to take my kids to soccer and basketball practice, and it's raining here, so things got canceled, and I just went wild. I just went mad with organ, and I'm like, that must be the new moon. The day before, on Monday, like the actual new moon, I got a lot of things organized, like digitally, like on my computer. I sat at my desk for hours and hours, and I just got all of it done. And then yesterday I felt the urge to like get things organized physically. Very Virgo. I'm Virgo rising, by the way. Y'all tell me your astrology. Madame J, welcome. 1-3. Me too. Hi, Natasha. Oh, I said hi already. You have to pay for the extended. No, just go to the feelgoodexpert.com. Okay. I have a link that explains what's in a personalized report because I felt like that was missing from my website. If you just go straight to the feelgoodexpert.com, like your chart's going to come up and all of those chart properties are going to be linked to free video explanations. You're only paying if you want like a PDF. Okay. Because I sat and I wrote out all of those variations. I designed it. Like it's intense. But no, you don't have to pay for the video explanations on my website. I'm stressed out. You know, that was me last month, Sai. I was like at my wit's end. You have organized your entire closet, Samantha. See, I looked at my entire house and I was like, I want to get rid of everything and I want to do it right now. And then I remembered I'm like one human in a very human body. And I was like, dang it, I can't do it all right this second. But I wanted to. I wanted to really bad, but we'll see. We'll see if the energy continues through Virgo season. And I want to have a garage sale too. How's the astrology knowledge coming? So I got all the books and I asked AI. Oh, and I followed a bunch of astrology creators on TikTok. And so that's my FYP. I'm learning something new every freaking day. But I asked AI to create a 90-day learning plan for me. And so it told me what books to buy. It told me what to study each day. Did I actually follow the plan? No, I did not, but it's on my list of things to do. It is. I'm going to do it. I feel like I finally came to a certain like level of not necessarily completion, but like satisfaction with human design. It's not that I'll never stop learning human design, but it's almost like I've gone so intensely into it for so many years that I need like a little brain break. And so I feel like because I finally launched my course, it's like done end to end and it's so good, you guys. And that's not me like trying to toot my own horn because I've taken lots of courses myself. I made sure, like I spent a lot of time to make sure that everything was covered. Anyways, I finally came to completion with that. I'm excited about it. Now I just need to talk about it, right, on socials and all of that stuff, to get people in and to get their feedback, to make sure that what I think it actually is. Anyway, that's done. And, the fall is coming up. Things are typically slower for me online during that season. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they weren't, but people don't typically buy readings for Christmas. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, I feel like that's the time that I can kind of chill out and start studying astrology a little more in depth. Is that a realigned periodic table? No, it's human design. It's like astrology on Red Bull is what I call that. Fix this a little bit. That looks better. Okay. Chiron and Virgo and 12 FML. I know. I was looking at my Chiron yesterday. It's Taurus in the 9th house, 8th gate. I don't know what time I'm bored. What information can I get without the time I'm bored? So Felicia, if you don't know, and for anybody listening, if you don't have your exact time of birth, that is really important to this system. It is. It's kind of indispensable. However, I've noticed, okay, if you're into astrology and human design and all these things that require like an exact birth time, I've noticed that you can at least get the foundations if you take the time to check your chart every 3 hours or so. So if you know the day and the location that you were born, go type in 0, go type in 3 a.m., 6 a.m., noon, 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Man, my math is mathing today. And then midnight. Bet I missed one. And then midnight. And just see if you're the same type all day. Because if you're the same type, when you look at your chart properties, type, strategy, signature, and not self-theme, you can start working on that right away. If you're the same authority, you can start working on that too for the entire day. If not, okay, see if you can narrow it a little more, right? If you know that you were born in the morning, right? Try checking every hour. If all things are the same, check every half hour, right? The thing that changes really the most frequently in the chart are the variables. So if you don't have an accurate source of your exact birth time, don't look at the variables. A lot of things are going to stay the same because look, half of these planets are slow moving. They're going to stay where they are for a bit, Anyways, you can do that. The other thing you can do, which I do not offer, but I would not be opposed to it, if you thought that if you recognized me and thought that I was the one to do the thing, is called an astrological rectification. I might be willing to do a human design rectification. That's when someone asks you questions to reverse engineer your time. You're going to have fun next year. Loads of eclipses in Virgo and Pisces. Stop. You know where my Pisces is? I think it's in the 7th house. Hi, Kylie. Can you determine if you'll have children from human design? I wouldn't say so. Human design isn't very predictive. Human design would tell you what kind of parent you're going to be should you choose to have children. Oh, hold on. I can't see my other chat here on YouTube. Okay. Here's a question. Do I keep up with my consecutive, how do I keep up with my consecutive appetite? It's kind of difficult. I'm Indian and eating a single ingredient can be difficult. Okay. Consecutive and alternating appetite, that's a whole thing. Here's what I do, because consecutive and alternating are the first line, the first color in digestion, which means you have the most sensitive digestive system. I'm second color. Okay, so I'm just one up, pretty sensitive, not quite as sensitive. So these people that are on that first color, they've really got like intense taste buds, right? Like they can taste everything and they like things that are decadent. So it's hard to adhere to that thing that's good for you, right? Single ingredient foods, because like you really enjoy foods and high quality ingredients. And so what I ended up doing, because I'm supposed to eat the same thing over and over again. Okay, I'm closed taste. And I do, but I don't for 3 meals a day. I do for 2 meals a day. Breakfast and lunch, when I need my brain function optimized, when I need to be like on and focused, I'll eat repetitively. Dinner time, I'm done. I don't care anymore, right? And I like to eat dinner with my kids. So sometimes I'll eat something repetitive and sometimes I won't. So I would say if you're consecutive or alternating, like see if you can choose one meal a day, at least, right? Choose one meal a day, let that integrate, and then add on if you prefer, if you like to. I don't know if you managed to get to my question yesterday. I wanted to hear your thoughts on the most activated chakra in human design. Is it the chakra that has the most gates and channels? Thanks. Yeah, we did talk about that. So I would do two things. It can either be your authority, right? Because that's the energy center that you should pay the most attention to when it comes to decision making, or it can be the energy center that has the most gates coming out of it. I will say though, there's a difference between having a lot of activations in a defined center versus having a lot of activations in an undefined center. If it's in a defined center, then that's energy that you're typically consciously creating, right? You have to look at the center to see what color it is, but that's energy that you're creating that's consistent for you. If it's in an undefined center, that's energy that you're attracting. You're attracting a lot. So, like for me, my defined spleen, that's my authority. But I think I only have 2 activations there. My undefined G center has probably the most hanging gates coming out of it, but it's undefined. But it's an experience that I have often, right? Because it's part of my incarnation cross. It has a lot of energy pulling people toward me. So I had a stomach ache because of the Virgo moon. Dang, that sucks. Do you have any advice or tips on unblocking chakras? Yeah, so I talk about this a lot. When you have an energy center that like is distracting you, right? Or is impacting your health. Could be one or two things. Feeling really distracting or having an impact on you health-wise. The number one thing that I tell people to do is simply to be able to bring into conscious awareness and put a name to what's happening. Okay. So I'll give you 2 examples from my own chart. Defined root. I have a defined root. It's my only motor. Okay. Energy projector. I put a lot of pressure on myself. A lot. I create a lot of pressure. Right? So those moments where I feel like a pressure cooker, just bringing into awareness and saying out loud, I am creating a lot of pressure. I am putting a lot of pressure on right now. I feel like I'm in a pressure cooker. Like just saying that out loud, now you're bringing into awareness that the energy is there and you're not stuck in this cycle of there's pressure here. I need pressure to relieve pressure, right? And you go, and then you end up in adrenal burnout. Just bring into awareness. Oh, pressure is here. Pressure is here, right? Just to like say that out loud. Now all the cooperative components are coming in, your problem solving, critical thinking skills are coming in. Just because you said it out loud, now solutions start to appear because you brought it into awareness. But if you don't say anything out loud and you just kind of like sit with it and process it and overthink it and just like let the energy like fester or snowball, that's where you get in trouble. Okay, defined center. Undefined center, for example, I have a fully open ego center. This bothers me a lot. I can, in a moment, when I'm in distraction from that ego center, so feeling like I need to prove myself, feeling like I need to over deliver, feeling like I'm not doing enough, especially in relationships, feeling like I need to make myself or other people proud. If I can just say, I have nothing to prove, nothing to prove, nothing to prove, I have nothing to prove. I have nothing to prove. That brings into my conscious awareness that I don't need to go down that rabbit hole, that I don't need to go into that black hole, bottomless pit. Okay. Awareness is like step 1. Of course, you've got to take some inspired action along the way, but the inspired action isn't going to come if you don't create the awareness. How would I determine my authority type? It'll be in your chart properties. So you need to type in your birth date, exact time, and location on You can use my website. It's free, thefeelgoodexpert.com. You need birth date, exact time and location. And then in the chart properties, it will say type and authority. Good morning, Nicole. Hi, Queen Sierra, splenic projector. What's astrology? You don't know what astrology is? You been under a rock? Hi, Deborah. What do you think about the writing across of the Maya? It's an interesting one. My favorite creator that talks about, she just talks about incarnation crosses better than I ever could, or can now anyway. I guess I won't say ever could. Is Brynja Magnuson, and her handle is Ceremoniance, CEREMONIANCE. I plug her every day, and I don't get anything out of it, you guys. We don't even know each other. I just really think she's a brilliant writer. How should a projector approach another projector? Recognition and then invitation. Projectors have different strengths and skills. Projectors create different kinds of energy. And so you need to look at the other projector and go, what is their thing? What are they good at? If you know their chart, then you can tell them what they're good at by looking at their defined centers. But if you don't, just like look at them and go. And projectors aren't good at seeing themselves. So if you can truly see someone and acknowledge their gifts, and then give an invitation that is aligned with that specific skill set or gift, they're going to be in love with you. You're going to be obsessed. I'm not trying to say like make someone fall in love with you. I'm saying just in general, even platonically in love with you. Hi, Mariah. I'm a 2-4 splenic projector. What does this mean? It means a few things. I haven't had enough coffee yet today. Always caffeinated. If you're curious, I have gone caffeine free for times of my life. I have seasons. Anyways, what is a 2-4 splenic projector? Splenic is your authority. It's your decision-making process. Your decision-making process is about having awareness in the now about what is good, safe, and healthy for you or not. That's it. You wait for an invitation. When the invitation comes in, your body will immediately tell you safe or not safe, healthy, not healthy, good, not good, feels good, doesn't feel good. Okay. Projector type is about absorbing others' energy, rolling it around, and then helping them focus it or make it more efficient. Those are the kinds of invitations that a projector is looking for. Any other time of the day, any other thing you do in your life, do whatever you want. When you're helping someone else focus their energy, when you are absorbing someone's energy and then providing them guidance, wait to be invited to do that, because it's very potent, very focused guidance, and it can be off-putting if someone's not ready. And it's off-putting to you if they're not ready and they don't take your advice. You'll be better. Okay. 2-4, your profile numbers are the costume that you wear, how you show up in the world, what you need consciously, how other people see you unconsciously. So your second line, conscious second line, this is someone who is gifted, someone's talented, someone who's a natural at something, right? Especially when you end up in your flow states. That's when it'll be most evident to you. It's also the hermit. To get to this talent, you've got to pull away a little bit. You've got to go get away and like get into your own energy. Fourth line, conscious fourth line means, okay, fourth line is about foundational relationships. So unconscious fourth line is what I meant to say. Unconscious fourth line means everybody else is looking at you to hold everything together. You want a hermit, they want you to do everything for them. So you have to create balance, because relationships are important to you, but you have to be able to create that balance between your self-care, your gifts, your talents, and what you're willing to give to your relationships. I'm a manifesting generator. Welcome. Regal authority figure. That must be from Jenna Zoe's website, My Human Design. I think that's what she calls it. And that is that a 4-6? Hey, Nick, long time no see. Can you tell me what the manifesting generator does? Yeah, I mean, they create a lot of energy. They got a defined sacral, defined throat. So manifesting generators designed to wait to respond to the things that make them feel enthusiastic, excited, lit up, when that comes in, now you know where to put your energy. And when your energy is there, you're very action oriented. You create a lot of refinements. You bring a lot of energy and speed to projects. Which shape is the ego center? Ego center is the tiniest little triangle. So if you're watching me on TikTok, I'm pointing at it. But if you're just looking at a chart, if you're using your chart for reference, the tiniest triangle next to the G center, the diamond in the middle. Hi, Jenny. You're the first person I've seen on here doing human design on coffee. Caffeine makes me happy. It brings me joy in life. I've stopped. I know what it's like without it. I see people who say, I'm caffeine free. It helps me be more intuitive and aligned and sleep. And I'm like, all my intuition comes from my caffeine, I think. Mud. Yeah. So I use like mushroom coffee. I don't even use like standard coffee because it makes me too hungry. It gives me the jitters and makes me like starving. Which aspect tells what kind of parent you'll be? I would look at your type. That'll tell you the energy that you're going to bring to parenting. So for me, for example, as a projector, the energy that I bring is around creating systems, managing energy, keeping things organized, right? Like that's the kind of parent, but I'm not like the super like enthusiastic, energetic, fun, let's play parent. Sorry, I'm too tired. But my best friend has kids similar ages, and she's a generator, sacral generator. And she is like, she's fully engaged. She has lots of energy to do everything that they're doing right alongside them. Manifesting generator, right? Like bouncing around, always providing new things to respond to. Reflector, just like vibe, chill and vibe with the kids, reflecting them back to them. Manifestor kid, like initiating the whole family on new paths all the time. To say manifestor kid, I meant to say manifestor parent. Just followed you. Thank you for the follow. So that's why I'm stressed out. I'm a 2-4 reflector with a lot of defined them. Yeah. Yes, you're absorbing and amplifying. You're absorbing and amplifying stress, and you're pulling stress toward you. Okay, Libra rising. I'm also an energy projector with a defined ego center. How do I know when my ego center is cooked? I would say cooked. That's a good. The ego center is going to ask you if your heart is in this. Okay, so like you're willing to push beyond your perceived limits. You're willing to compete. You're willing to show up, but only if your heart is in it. And a lot of times your heart is in it for your people, for your tribe, right? So lots of tribal circuits coming out of the ego center. And so if you just feel like my heart is tired or my heart is not in this, or who am I even doing this for? Who am I trying to make proud? I would say that's when it's cooked. Hey, I love you so much. 3-5 manifesting generator. Hi. I'm gonna call you student. Unless you want me to call you something else. Any advice on how to tap into the sacral? Jody. So I know you're on YouTube, but I have a friend on TikTok. He might be on YouTube too. I don't know, but his name is Reiki Marco. He's a reflector. Reiki, Reiki, Marco, Marco. And he has a playlist called Sacral Calibration, where you can just sit and listen to him ask you yes or no questions and then check in with your gut. And he asks like control questions. He's very good at this. He's very good at this. I love this. I always refer to my friends, right, who are good at human design. Everybody's got their own specific gifts. I know I'm good for beginners. That's my talent. If you're brand new to human design and this stuff doesn't make any sense to you, this is the place to be. But I have friends in the human design world that are good at very specific niche things as well. Marco being a reflector, his sacral calibration playlist is so spot on. I love it. So I would recommend that, or like sit with someone, an objective support person, and ask them to give you things to respond to. Yes or no questions. Answer only with sounds, right? Don't form sentences. Don't think or have a thought. Whatever your first gut instinct is. I got here late. How does a 3-filed profile protect themselves against projection? You have got to be really strong on your mindset. So read books about mindset, like work on your mindset. Mindset is a big, big deal for you. How you view your own challenges. That's going to impact how you view other people's problems and challenges. And now you become more discerning about who you're willing to support and help. Angela, new to human design stuff. Hi, welcome. Oh, thank you for the gift, Jenny. Does that mean people are giving me? It means you're amplifying. So you can sense. So remember what I was saying earlier about bringing to awareness? When there is stress and pressure, you go, stress is here. And it might not be mine. I am aware of stress. I am aware that there is stress and pressure here. Now your conscious mind starts going to try to find, where is this coming from? Right? If you say stress is here, your conscious mind goes, where? Where is it? Let's go find it, right? It's like sicking a dog on a bone or something, you know? Stress is here. Where did it come from? If you say, I am stressed, you are making that your identity. Your conscious mind goes, okay, here's more stress. I'm planning my escape. Do it. YOLO. I just saw how old I am. I really appreciate your stuff because I need a lot of validation. Me too, friend. Me too. My boyfriend's a reflector, and he feels everything from. It's crazy, right? Like I am this close to understanding that experience because I have 7 undefined centers, but it's interesting when you finally like have the map and you can go, oh, that isn't mine, and it wasn't mine, and it's overwhelming, and I don't want it. Now you can pull yourself away and you can do your own thing. Can you explain the 1-4 profile? Yeah. So you have a conscious first line. This is the researcher, the investigator. Mentally, what's best for you is to have something that you're learning, something that you're studying, something that you're going deep on. Okay. Unconscious fourth line, same as the 2-4. You are the one who holds the relationships together. So if you feel overwhelmed on one side, everybody's depending on you for everything, go read a book. If you're too much in the books and you don't feel close connection or relationship with others, go lean on your support system, right? They've always leaned on you. Ask for support in return. If you have a defined sacral, a defined emotional center, but you have an emotional authority, it's so confusing both. How do you wait to respond? Okay. So your response is step 1. Step 1, okay, that's your strategy for living, is to wait to respond, okay? Checking in with your gut and your gut instinct about what is being presented to you, what opportunity is being presented to you, what person is in front of you, right? What potential, what option is there. Now that the strategy has been kicked on, you go, cool, I know what my first instinct was. Now let me ride my emotional wave to make sure that I can commit not only my life force energy, but I also want to make sure that I can commit my depth and thoroughness. So whatever I'm saying yes to not only requires my enthusiasm, but it also requires my emotional depth. So I need to make sure that whatever I'm about to say yes to allows me to come in and take up space, allows me to show up with my full depth and thoroughness. Because if it requires the speed of the sacral, but not the depth and thoroughness of the emotional center, I'm always going to feel like I'm too much or too slow. Hopefully that helps. How do I bring ego center into awareness? So with an undefined ego, it's nothing to prove. With a defined ego, it's like, is my heart in this? Can I really make this promise and keep it? Hi, Kitty. Good to see you again. 1-3 splenic projector, having a hard time understanding my hope mode. I'm hope motivation too. Okay, what helped me understand hope was understanding the transference of hope. Understanding hope for me was understanding what is not hope, which is guilt. Guilt is something's wrong, something's missing, let's fix it, right? Guilt is on the 5th line. Hope is on the 2nd line. Hope is natural. Hope is flowy, right? The 2nd line, innate wisdom, natural gifts, flow states, play. 5th line is very much vibrational, like feeling into what's not quite right. Let's fix it. 5th line is always solutions oriented, problem solver. And so I know that I'm not in my hope motivation when I'm being pulled out into guilt. I feel guilty. I'm sensing what's wrong. I'm sensing that I'm not doing it right. When I'm in hope, everything feels serendipitous. Everything feels flowy, natural, easy. And I am so aligned that the energy that I create for others is hopeful. But when I'm in guilt motivation, I pull away. I won't do anything. Hope that helps. Can you explain the 3-5 without depressing us? I'm sorry. I have a 3rd line too. Listen, all I've got is a channel of struggle and a 1-3 profile. Okay. Where did my hope go? 3-5. 3-5, very, very good at mindset. If you can overcome the things that seem mentally challenging to you, the things that seem like a failure, they're not. You're very, very resilient. Very resilient, like the most. 3rd lines are gonna be the most resilient type, the most willing to adventure, the most willing to take on the challenge. Not everybody's like that. That could be boring. Just saying. And then that unconscious 5th line, like you're helpful, you're altruistic, you're kind, you care. You care in a way that not everybody else cares. Okay. Even though you're on your roller coaster ride and you're trying to figure it all out, you still are willing to serve others. That's amazing. What are the most important elements to look at in a human design chart? Strategy and authority. That's step 1, starting place. After you have mastered strategy and authority, I'd say move on to profile. Step 3, strategy, authority, profile. After that, I would say it's kind of up to your preference. Do you want to know how to operate yourself in your physical body? Or do you want to know what your gifts are, the energy that you create? If you're pulled in the direction of health and physical body, you're probably getting pulled in the direction of the variables, the 4 transformations, the arrows. If you're more concerned, like what are my gifts, like what more you want to learn more about yourself, then you might want to go into channels and gates. Tone makes a difference, but that's like super advanced and it's not even necessarily within your control, right? It just kind of happens naturally. It matters. It's the filter, but it's pretty deep stuff. Like I would say, wait on that. Wait until what is the right way to say that? I don't know. How long have you been like in your experiment? How long have you been into human design? I guess will be my question back. That's why guilt is so, yeah. 3rd line, that's in your profile numbers. So your profile numbers are going to be in the chart properties. There's a number, a slash, and then another number. If either of those numbers is a 3, that's what I'm talking about. Or a 6. 6-3 manifestor. Welcome. Emotional generator. My strategy is to respond. Authority sacral. What does that mean? I have actually a really good video about strategy to respond. If you pull your chart on my website and you just click on that, I think that'll explain it really well. 1.5 years. Yeah, I would say like color, base, and tone. Like that's some PhD level stuff. That's some really advanced human. I do cover it in my course, but not necessarily in the way that you're asking, like this the step by step of like how it comes in, just the basic meaning of each one. Okay, this is my last question. How do I protect myself with an undefined spleen? The only gate I have is gate 50. And I am so stressed with parenting and in relationships. Yeah, because that gate 50, the other side of it is gate 27, nourishment, nurture. Who am I going to take care of? Right? That's what's attracted to you. And you feel responsible. Gate 50, gate of values, it's all about responsibility. How do we take care of the people that we've pulled into our tribe, the elderly and the young, right? So, with an undefined spleen, oh, thank you for the gift. With an undefined spleen, is it still on? You want to, first of all, like stay in the moment. Okay. So don't like pull in all of your regrets from the past and all of your anxieties about the future. That'll be massively amplified and that'll drive you a little nutty. The other thing you can do is look at connection charts, right? Of the people that you're in relationship with and in your family. You can pull a connection chart anytime for free on my website. You just type in your info. And then once you're looking at your chart at the top, right above your body graph, there'll be a little button that says relationship chart. If someone close to you has a hanging 27, when you're in that connection, you actually have the defined spleen energy. It's when you're on your own, when you're on your own and you're like processing all of these things, like, am I doing it right? Right? Have I made mistakes? What's coming next? That's when you're going to get in trouble. But you might actually have that supportive sacral and splenic energy if anybody close to you has a hanging 27. Almost all 5 of my conscious planets are Detroit. Detriment. I bet you mean detriment. Is life going to be difficult for me? And how do I handle it? Detriments don't necessarily mean that, like, they're not necessarily bad. It's just the way that you move through that energy. So there are exaltations, there are detriments, there are juxtapositions, and then there's something called no fixing if you don't see anything next to the gate. But it's like, take a look at that and say, it's actually kind of like a clue to where you might be wasting energy. Take a look at it and go, can I stop like putting all of my focus in the wrong direction for a bit? Like, can I move my energy to something's more aligned for me? So like for me, I have a detriment in gate 28. Planning for things that don't matter. I did that. I did that the majority of my life. And as soon as I learned about my design, I stopped buying planners and markers and like only using planners for aesthetic reasons. I started learning how to actually set goals and milestones, right? And to be able to progress things forward in an aligned way. And so the detriment gave me a clue to where I had been wasting energy for a very long time. And that created a very massive transformation because it's in my Pluto placement. Very massive transformation. I was able to pull a lot of energy back to myself, right? And feel really cool, right? That like, oh, that was hard. And now I feel like I'm really good at it. So it can be a gift. Most of the things that you're going to see in your chart start out as something that seemed like the most challenging thing that could ever exist. And then once you like look at it objectively, it becomes a strength and a gift for you. Okay, I promise this is the last question. How do I stay present? It's hard for me to stay present. I keep being told this to help me. The easiest way is breath. Breath connects you to life force, connects you to spirit, connects you to this now moment. I'm breathing, right? Like very simple. So if you can clear your mind for a moment and just sit and focus on the breath moving through your system, like even try to just visualize cell moving, breath, whatever, right? Like to be able to like sit in this now moment and don't think about anything else, which means you've got to focus on something that is insignificant. It's the pattern of your breathing, the sound of the air conditioner. This is how people meditate. Don't overcomplicate it. Focus on one thing. If that's hard for you to do, then I would say do something somatic that forces your breath into a pattern, like walking, for example, like yoga, for example. Somatic movement, breath and body. Easiest way to get present. I forgot my perspective and it's not on your site. If you look at the big number by the arrow, that'll tell you. So 1 is survival, 2 is possibility, 3 is power, 4 is wanting, 5 is probability, 6 is personal. That's the color. Hi, Wendy. Could you break down the martyr role model? That's something I'm trying to understand. Yeah, so the 3-6 profile. That was very helpful. Yay, thank you. Hi, Melanie. I'm like double taking because I'm like, did I see you on TikTok yesterday? The bottom right, bottom pink is perspective. Oh, 3-6. 3-6 profile. So consciously, we've talked about the conscious third line a lot when we were talking about the 3-5 profile. Same thing, right? Mindset is a big deal. And then on your physical body side, you're moving into that role model archetype post age 50. Up until that moment, you're being challenged via your lived experience, via your resilience, right? So mindset's going to be a game you play your entire life. On the unconscious role model side, people start to see your resilience. People start to see your ability to turn challenges, failures, trial and error into wisdom. People begin to see you as a role model archetype because it's an unconscious side. Arrow 5, view as probability. Okay, I thought so. Like I recognized your pic, even though it's this big. I was like, wait, I saw that. I need a haircut, guys. I've been cutting my own bangs, and it's it only goes well until it doesn't go well anymore. What's the best way for me to plan my days? Wendy. 3-5, sacral and manifesting generator. I mean, manifesting generators really value freedom. Really value freedom and autonomy, the ability to like change your mind as you go along. So that's one. One of my other best friends is a 6-2 manifesting generator, and she works from home and she works basically project-based. She sets her own schedule, and it's really important for her to have that freedom to work when she feels like it and also work where she wants to work. So sometimes she'll leave the house and work like at a nature preserve. Sometimes she'll work at a coffee shop. Sometimes she'll work in her living room. Freedom. Allow for some space to respond to what feels exciting to you in a moment. Thank you. Thank you. I was considering project-based. Yeah. So instead of hourly, instead of having like an hourly commitment, you commit to a project and then you do it at your own pace. What does triple split definition mean? It means you have 3 groups of energy centers in your chart. So there'll be a group of at least 2 via channel, and then there'll be other energy centers defined, but those 2 aren't connected to it via channel. There'll be another group. There'll be another group. So you have 3 voices in your system, 3 groupings of energy centers that are communicating a different type of energy through you than the other energy centers, if that makes sense. So you might feel like a little disjointed, little all over the place, little like three things at once. Might feel better in groups, not necessarily in groups where you have to be performative, right? Where you have to like hold the energy or respond to everyone, just where you can be and feel that flow of energy. Ra always referred to that as being private and public. So being able to go out and experience auras moving so that that energy now feels more like a continuous flow for you, but you don't have to actually like commit to anything in that moment. I'm a 2-4 projector. Can you expand more on the incarnation cross? Yeah, my favorite person that talks about incarnation crosses, her account is called Ceremoniance, Ceremoniance. She says it better than I can. That's all I'm going to tell you. So her website is Ceremoniance, Ceremoniance. If you use the code gratitude, you get 15% off. So you can get an entire chapter on your cross for like $5. Instant PDF download. You can also buy her book, which I have, which I use every day. And she has, I don't know if she's on YouTube, but she has an account on TikTok where she shows her book and she goes through each of the crosses. She's really good at it. Happy Wednesday. Oh my gosh, how do I pronounce that? Solimar? We don't have a 6'5" profile. You could be a 6'3". You could be a 6'2". Yeah, Ceremoniance. She's great. You'll get a whole chapter. So you go to her website, you go to products, and you'll get a whole chapter on your incarnation cross. So all of the gates, a full overview, the overall cross high, the overall cross low, case studies, information about your incarnation cross by profile number, by type. It's very good. I somehow met my stand goal by sitting here. You know, the little Apple Watch is like, stand up. I need to turn that off. It's kind of annoying. 6'2". Okay, I'm breaking this promise because I never catch you on live. How can you tell what a person's daily routine should be based on exercise, type of exercise, etc.? I look a lot of places in the chart. So like if someone booked a reading with me and they were like, hey, tell me my daily routine, like I would go all out. First, I would look at energy centers. How many motors do you have? The number of motors that you have will tell me like how much energy you've got to burn. The motors are the ego center, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. If you don't have any motors, you got to be careful. If you have all 4 motors, you got to be moving. So I'll look at motors, and then depending on which motors, that would tell me what type of, how to use the energy, right? How to move the energy. If you have a defined root, you're creating a lot of pressure. So you need to do something to relieve pressure, something physical. Ideally, something like heavy duty, something that makes you sweat. For me, I have a defined root. I like to like pick up heavy things and put them down again. I like to lift. You can't tell, but I try. I do my best. more legs. Anyways, defined ego center, you should probably do something competitive, right? Like play a sport, go play pickleball, go play table tennis, who cares? You should probably do something though that's like challenges you to be your best. Solar plexus, something that requires your depth and thoroughness. Somewhere to go, take up space, something that you might have an emotional connection to, right? Like if you go do Pilates and it makes you feel so aligned, so good, so healthy, so happy, whatever. right? It's emotional connection, but that you can like deeply, thoroughly show up for over time. To find sacral, you got to be excited about it. Like maybe you want to go do a dance class, maybe you want to go do jump on trampolines, something fun. That's one. I'll also look at the left arrows in the chart, the design arrows. If you're using my website, the ones in blue, I'll look if they're left or right facing. Left facing is more active, right facing is more receptive, passive. I'll also look at what color, meaning what line they're on, what number is next to it. Are you optimizing your digestion? Are you optimized in your environment? I look at, like, when people ask about daily routine, I'll look at like the fifth gate. Fifth gate's the gate of rituals and routines. Do you have that as an activation? Or do you have gate 15, like reaching for it? Is that not self? Do you have multiple placements? Where is it in the chart, right? Where else would I look? Gate 46. It holds the love of the physical body. Yeah. A lot of different things I would look at. I have 3 and I can't imagine how I'm always super tired. Well, that's what happens though, right? Like when you when you have motors, other people notice and they exploit your energy and you do get exhausted. I mean, you just get like burnt out doing everything for everybody else. Trust me, I know. I only have 1. So when somebody else has a bunch of motors, I'm like, hey, let me close to you. Let me get near you. These things that I'm telling you to do, I'm telling you do for yourself, right? You're exhausted because you're doing for everyone else. Thank you for all you do. Love your shorts. Oh, thank you. Okay, how would one go about reading the conscious and unconscious gate decimal numbers and interpret those? I have the book, but overwhelmed. Also, do you believe in cosmic human design? So 2 things I would suggest, shameless plug, I would suggest my course. I literally just covered gates. There's like a 300-ish page ebook that talks about each of the lines. So I sat with the definitive book of human design. It's over here, actually. I sat with the definitive book of human design and I translated every line into plain English. It's in my ebook. That's one. And at the beginning of that ebook, I talk about what to do if it's conscious, what to do if it's unconscious, what to do if it's both, what to do if it's in an undefined center, what to do if it's in a defined center. Okay. All that's in my course. Because that is advanced. That's an advanced skill. Something you actually have to like sit with and integrate and practice. That's one. Cosmic human design. So Ra Uruhu, formerly known as Alan Crackor from Canada. Ra said, use tropical. He said, use tropical astrology with this system. That's what it was made for. That's what he said. That's what he said. He's just a guy. I am a first line, so I'm always getting to the bottom of things. I'm always about the foundations of things, right? Like the basics. So I'm going to do what he says, but I don't tell anybody else to do what he says because I'm like, you have your own design. You have your own way of understanding things. I'm a first line, but if you're a second line, you're having a completely different experience. You're going to be a lot more intuitive about it. I'm like, give me the facts. Give me the facts and don't lie to me. That's my first line. But that's what he said it was designed to be used with, is tropical astrology, multiple times. But if cosmic human design is your deal, it's your jam, and it resonates for you, go right ahead. I do have a disclaimer in my course, though, about like closed practices and respecting the systems that were synthesized in order to bring this system forward. And I know people have got feelings about Vedic astrology, so there's that too. My daughter is an emotional projector and wearing me out. Tell me about it. I have an emotional manifesting generator. What line are we talking about? I'm talking about profile lines. So there's 6 lines coming from the I Ching hexagrams and profile numbers in your chart. I'm a first line, so my profile is a 130. You could also be a 5-1, 4-1, 1-4, but that's a first line profile. You've got a 1 somewhere up in there. Second line, 6-2, 2-4, 5-2, 2-5. Does that make sense? What's crazy is I feel more aligned with cosmic human design, and then I saw my cosmic human design had a physical reaction without expectations, but I'm a 3-5 manifesting generator, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm an experimenter. I'm like, try it on, see how it feels. If you hate it, leave it. If you love it, go with it. That's just part of your lived experience. But I haven't personally gone down that road. I'm already too far down this road, to be honest. I'm not ready to like take a left turn yet. If I were going to turn off this road, it would just be down the astrology road. I have a defined spleen and gate 57 defined. What does this say about your intuition and your psychic ability? Hi, Ruben. Yeah, gate 57. It's an interesting one. And for a lot of us close to my age, it's a generational one. A lot of people had 57 in Pluto right before I was born. Anyways, gate 57 is our gate of intuitive clarity. So it is in the spleen. So it's an awareness, it's an instinct, right? It's a present moment experience. But it's interesting because it's part of our integration channels. This is about self-empowerment. And it's reaching for 3 other potential gates. And so if it's hanging, your intuitive clarity has these 3 different potentials that can come to you via transits, via relationships, via environments, right? And so it's like, if it's a hanging gate, which I think you said, you have to tell me if 57 is what's defining your spleen via channel. Okay, 1057. Well, for anyone, if they have 57 as a hanging gate, there's the potential that gets activated via behavior, gate 10, right? Behavior of the self, via gate 34, empowerment from the sacral, gate 20, right? Like presence, this now moment, action. So 1057, what does it mean? What does it do? Your behavior has to be intuitively aligned. Okay, so it has to be an instinct and awareness that comes from that splenic definition. Being able to be present in this now moment, hold the awareness of what is instinctively good, safe, and healthy for you. That's what puts you on your path. The G center. That's what gives you your identity. That's what gives you a direction. That's where you find who you are and what you love to do, is via your instincts, your intuitive clarity in the now. If one has gate 59 and a femme fatale line, what would that look like, and how should or could that energy be used? It's an interesting one. So I have 6. I have your harmonic, right? So we connect and it's like sparks are flying. What do you know what planet it's in? What placement? Is it conscious or unconscious? In general, you've got a seductive quality about you, right? You're able to break through people's barriers. You're able to get close, go deep with people, usually via sacral response, via curiosity. I had the first guess 5-1. I was like, how did you? 5-1 is one of the more common profile lines. It's like half of them are common and then half of them are transitional. So out of 12, 6 of them are like, you'll see them a lot, and the other 6 are like a little more rare. Empirical Pisces. It's my birthday. Happy birthday. Wait, how are you a Pisces if it's your birthday? Cosmic human design uses Vedic astrology rather than tropical astrology. That's all. It's conscious. What about channel 50, 5720 is an interesting one because your instinct, your intuitive clarity goes straight to your mouth. Makes you like blurt things out. It's the brainwave, right? You say it before you even have a moment to think through what you're about to say. One of my friends has that, and he apologizes to me all the time for interrupting or like not letting me finish a thought because he just like as soon as it comes, he's like, boop, like just blurts things out. It's cute. I'm glad I know, right? I'd be like, ugh. I'd be like rude. I have both 44 and 61 hanging. What do these gates do? 44 is about pattern recognition. Finally being able to see the red flags coming. Finally being able to go, oh, I know what's about to happen. 61 is the gate of mystery. So being curious, asking why. Why are we here? What's our purpose? Like, what's the meaning of life? What are we doing on Earth? How big is the universe? As soon as you started talking about the 5 perspective, I had to walk. Oh, I don't think I said much on it. Can you speak on having a defined 28? That's my only channel. The channel of struggle. I actually watched a whole YouTube video by another human design creator talking about the channel of struggle today. She has 5 gate 38 placements. So I was like, dang, thought I had it hard. And gate 28 in her personality sun. Anyways, channel of struggle. It's about making the most of your time. That's gate 28. And fighting for a life of meaning and purpose. That's gate 38. So you're in your individual process of figuring out what is your purpose, what is meaningful to you, but also being afraid of running out of time, also putting yourself under a lot of pressure, also having a fear of death. I'm not afraid of death, honestly, but like death in the theme of running out of time, right? Like, am I going to do what I wanted to do while I was on Earth? Basically, type of death, not like death itself. Sometimes with the channel of struggle, you might look at death like a relief. I have 3 planets in gate 29. Interesting. The gate of saying yes, to persevere, to channel and all of our determination, to show up for something, to really show up for it. In my opinion, life has no fundamental meaning. It's the meaning that we put into. Yeah, could be. It's a good thing to ponder. It's an interesting pondering. Life has no meaning. I think we are, as humans, very good at assigning meaning to things, and we can drive ourselves nuts doing that. But I have a larger belief system that is not human design related that follows the path of a soul, right? From incarnation to incarnation to incarnation. And related to human design, I think you get this map for your soul to bump into shit for a lifetime so that it can reflect and expand, right? And then gather these tools, gather this new energy, this new information, and then use it for whatever souls use things for. Next incarnation, leveling up in the hierarchy of souls. I don't know. I'm sure I've died before, but I don't remember it now. Those gates make me overthink and anxious a lot. Gate 38, the gate of the fighter, right? It does sound kind of bad. It is kind of badass, honestly. It depends. It depends on where you have it placed, right? Like some people may fight meaninglessly. Some people may really fight. It's funny. I used to get made fun of, and this is before I understood human design, right? Like I know when to panic or not. And it's very, 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 like pretty much never that I'll panic, right? Because my gate 38 is activated via the channel. Like I know what is an emergency or not. And so like one time I was living with my ex and like our kitchen was flooding out of nowhere all of a sudden. I just looked over and I was like, hey, kitchen's flooding. You know, like nothing we can do about it now. The water's already here. Like we'll figure it out. Like, yeah, let's get up and go stop it. But the flood is here. Same thing when something caught on fire. Like, hey, something's on fire. Let's take care of that. My kids hate it. They're so dramatic. Like when they get injured, and I'm like, it's fine. It's gonna be fine. Let's sit down. Do we need a band-aid? Like, what do you want to do? I have a theory. It's weak. So I have a few family members and friends that have volunteered their children's human design. I'm noticing that a few children who are on the spectrum have triple split. Interesting. I also see that because they're creating a lot of energy. And it's hard to manage that much energy. If you're triple split, you have to have at least 6 colored in, at least. My youngest son has 8 out of 9. I wouldn't say he's on the spectrum though. He's like super emotionally attuned and aware. But could be. I've seen a lot of kids who have health issues have a lot of definition and not really know what to do with all that energy. 952. I love meditation and I'm an artist. That's perfect. What are the channel of gates 9 and 52? So it's responding to the thing that makes you feel quiet and still. It's focus and stillness put together, and it's a formatting channel. So it's using up all that pressurized energy and enthusiasm to like really sit with something. My reflector has been compromised as my struggle. Oh my God, it's so fun. It's so fun to see someone either like compromise or to dominate someone and struggle. It's hilarious. Looking back, my relationship with my ex was so funny because he's actually really smart and like really skilled at a lot of things, jack of all trades, but he would stand near me and like not be able to change a light bulb. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't understand why it's not working. Like, I'm an electrical engineer. Why is this not working? Right. And I'm like, I know. Why are you being dumb? Like, you should really know how to do this. He's like, this has never happened before. Right. Like, he's amplifying struggle because I would dominated. Not chance. He would amplify with no hanging gates in there. Really funny. And I've seen it like with people when people come to fix my house. Like a guy came to fix my faucet. It was like old, right? And so it was leaky. We just had to change the whole thing out. He installed the hot and cold backward. And I was like, hey, the hot and cold are backward. He's like, I know, but it's going to have to be that way. And I'm like, why? He's like, I tried. I cannot fix it. I can't switch it. And I'm like, why? Fix it. Like you're plumber. This should be like your skill. You should at least know how to do that. And he's like, it's impossible. I can't do it. He also put a heating element in my dishwasher that was too hot. And so now if I put anything plastic on the bottom, it melts. It's so fun. I have a lot of really interesting looking Tupperware now. It's like abstract art. For good compatibility, is it necessary to have more electromagnetic channels than compromised channels? Not necessary, because what is exciting at first will make you feel controlled later. You probably would want to look for a lot of companionship, but it can be anything. Do you do readings live? No, I can't. I don't know when to say. I don't know how to stop. I don't know when enough is enough. So I tried it, and I would be on live for like 2.5 hours, and I have a life outside of this. So I had to stop doing it. But that's why I created the system where you can just pull your chart on my website and watch all of the videos. And then you have an on-demand free mini reading. I did do that for you. You have the same birthday as Warren Buffett. Can we use incarnation cross for compatibility? I suppose you technically could. It's pretty deep in the rabbit hole, though. What do Gates and Channel 3740 do? 3740. This is about the handshake deal, the bargain. It's aloneness versus friendship. So it is like work, rest, balance, being able to like really craft something thorough, right? For the tribe, present it to the tribe, right? Like give them this bargain, like, hey, I did this thing for you. Handshake deal, bargain, all that stuff. And then walk away and like start working again. It's two motors. I should go. Yeah, I think maybe I should too. Leave the house, like leave someone else in charge. The other funny thing is like everyone close to me has the channel of judgment. So I feel like relentlessly judged. Both my sons and my friend, who's basically like my kid's aunt. She's here every weekend. All three channels of judgment. I'm like, oh my God. And I don't have either activation. I don't have 18 or 58. I amplify. I tell my friend, I'm like, I feel like you're judging me. She's like, I'm not judging you. Have you ever tried studying the human design of a pet? I haven't. My pets are reptiles. I don't know their birth time. I know people who are really, really into their like animals, usually cats and dogs, but I'm not really into our animals. They're my kids' animals. I haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet. I also haven't really gone down the sleep chart rabbit hole too far. Like I understand it. I know what it is, and I can look at it on my advanced reader software, genetic matrix. But I wouldn't offer like a reading along those lines. 18 and 58. Can you expand on it? Yeah, the channel of judgment. It's correct and perfect. 18, anything that's an awareness center is going to hold some kind of fear. Awareness centers are the spleen, the solar plexus, and the ajna. The splenic gate 18 holds this fear of authority, right? Like who's in charge? Why are they in charge? How are they doing it wrong? All of that kind of stuff. Correct. To correct. To make better, that's gate 58, the gate of the joyous. Vitality, right? To like take what has gone wrong and then use that drive, that pressure from the root and make it better. You're not going to make it perfect, but to perfect is to improve over time. And so anybody who's got the channel of judgment, they have this instinctive awareness around what's not quite right? What's gone wrong in the past, what authority figures are not doing right that should be evolved or changed or mutated, and how to make it better to have a life that's more joyous with more vitality, right? It doesn't seem like it at first glance when you meet someone with the channel of judgment that they really care about living a life that is joyous, but they do. And it is a collective channel, part of the collective circuit. So this is about sharing. This is about sharing how to make things better. They're usually, I just made a post about this, they're usually really good writers, actually, because they want to share how to question authority and how to make things better, right? Questioning childhood trauma, questioning our parents, questioning our government, things like that. I've seen someone actually in the human design world with the channel of judgment, like questioning other content creators and pointing out where people are saying things wrong or doing things that are not quite accurate to the source info. Can be both ways, but my ex's response was to freak out and it never went well. Yeah, I was the one freaking out. I didn't know how to handle my own struggle. Now I don't care. Enjoy your next class. See you next time. Okay, let me go back over here. Tyler, hi, welcome. What are the arrows that point up or down next to the channels and plant? Those are called an exaltation or a detriment. So if it doesn't have an arrow, it's called no fixing. If the arrow is up, it's exaltation. If the arrow is down, it's detriment. If there's a little star, it's called a juxtaposition. And it's just like a further explanation, a further refinement of that specific placement. gives you an awareness of what type of energy you're dealing with for this incarnation, but it is not good or bad. Ross says he kind of regrets like letting that name come through because he's like, people hear detriment and they think, oh my God, it's the worst thing that could ever happen. He's like, it's not. It's just the energy that is. Which channel is the channel of judgment? 18 to 58. What does it mean when my incarnation cross arrives in 2027? It means the energy you've been walking around with your whole life, other people are going to start to have awareness of. And so you're going to have a head start. ChatGPT said that's a 1 in 3,000 odd. That's amazing. Both of my daughters have the cross of laws. Any advice? So highly recommend get the chapter on that cross and study it. So I always recommend Ceremoniance, CEREMONIANCE, ceremoniance.com to buy the chapter. If you use the code gratitude, it's only $5. Study that. You can also look at the variation of the cross in the Incarnation Cross Index. If you have that book, it'll tell you what it means, right? Depending on what gate is the leading gate. Humandesign.tools is also a free resource that will teach you a little bit about incarnation crosses. Not too much, but a little bit. But that's really interesting. You might see them like collaborate on something that questions the rules that we have for as a society. Human design gene key crossover. How do they highlight each other? Usually through the gates. Gene keys is really, really in depth on the gates. Oh, this isn't for me. Okay. Is it similar to a birth chart? Yes. It's like astrology on Red Bull. We use astrology, the I Ching, the chakra system, and mystical Kabbalah. What does Chiron do to the gate that it's in? So this is the energy that's going to show up around the age of 50, right? Like, what did you come here to heal, and did you heal it? What does it mean to have 1858 in a compatibility chart? One person brings the energy of correction. One person brings the energy of perfection. Together, you can do a service to the collective around that channel of judgment, correct and perfect. How do we make things better? One person's really good at seeing what's gone wrong, and one person's really good at creating those improvements. What does it mean to have a random cross of planning with 952 and 3740 and a 46? I mean, it means a lot. Yeah, I would suggest, like, if you want to get into the nuance of charts and how everything communicates with each other, either check out my course or book a reading with me or anyone, because the information is layered, you know? Can you explain 2551 and how do you deal with this? It's an interesting one. Like, the people that I've known with that channel, it's centering, right? It's individual centering. Circuitry, right? So it's like the shocking event that takes place that like pulls you back in to your direction and purpose. So you'll get off path a little bit and then boom, something will knock you back on track, or give you a fresh start. I think I'm a light worker. I had a spiritual awakening after super time. Oh, nice. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I've been live too long. I gotta go check on my kids. But I will be back for sure. YouTube tomorrow, TikTok tomorrow, 11 Central, but also back on TikTok tonight. I'm doing a live, a duel, a joint, whatever, a guest. Someone invited me to join their live, 7:30 Central, 7:30 p.m. Central tonight on TikTok. Me and her name's Audrey, Soul Pop, spiritual soul pop. Anyway, she like recreates trending music, but at a higher vibrational vocabulary, terms, words, and sounds, right? So she'll take things that are trending and make it more aligned. I'm trying to explain this well. I'm not doing a good job, but I love her. You just have to listen to her music. She's adorable. I'm going to do a live with her tonight at 7:30 Central on TikTok. I don't think I can dual stream it to YouTube because you won't see her. Anyway, see you soon.